Hey everybody, here again to make a short little video of what sold and just a couple little, or one main little tip that I have for any newer resellers that want to get into doing reselling and don't really have any reviews and things like that. A good way of getting that. Just a couple of little tips that I do. It's given us, we get about 50% review rate on mostly on eBay and Macari. Those two, they're actually really good about doing reviews on there. So we use just a little ploy to try and help gain reviews and get our good review status. On eBay we have 153 5-star reviews, and I think the only reason we've done that is we sell good stuff, and we always send a thank you card. So it's got stuff on the bag. It says your satisfaction is our #1 priority. If you have any issues, contact us right away, and thanks them for their purchase. And it tells them to contact us if they have any issues. So these go in every single one of our packages. And something else that I've learned is to make sure that after a purchase, I know you can't do this on Macari, but after a purchase, especially on eBay, what I do is I go in and I do reviews of the buyers, give them positive reviews, even before or during shipping, just to go ahead and do that, to create a good rapport with the buyer, to let them know that we appreciate them paying right away, getting things done. Because if we accepted an offer, eBay doesn't require them to pay immediately. So especially if they've paid right away, in that instance, it's a really good idea to give them a positive review. That way they will be a little more satisfied once they get the item, and it gives them more incentive to actually give you a review as well. So those are just the two little things for any newer sellers that are trying to gain reviews. We went through, I don't know, about 5 boxes of 100 of these cards already in the last 6 months, and we try and put them with everything. So, but now I want to actually go over what we've sold actually within the last day. It was super slow. Like for an entire week before the holiday, it was really slow. We were only selling maybe 1 or 2 items a day, if that. We had a couple days with no sales, and then all of a sudden we have a day and a half with 9 sales. And I mean, they're not high dollar items by any means, but they're still really good sales. And some of the things are like immediately we listed them and they were gone within a few days. One of the items I relisted because it actually came back to me. The buyer said, even though it said as is in the listing, the buyer said, oh, well, it's not working for me, and can I return it? So I just allowed the return, and then it actually took me about a month and a half, and I finally relisted it again. Even though I had the listing already set up, I just didn't take the time to relist it and reiterate in the listing that it is an as-is sale, may not work. The only thing that I tested was power on this item. So But I'm going to go over my Facebook sales, which we haven't had a Facebook sale in a week and a half, almost 2 weeks actually. So I'm not sure what's been going on with Facebook Marketplace, but we haven't had very many sales. But the 2 sales that one of them I'm really happy about, I've had for quite a while. This item is a Harley Davidson money clip. It's vintage from 1997. Had it listed for $40, and we took an offer of $35. Actually, the person messaged me and was really nice and said, "Hey, would you take $35 for it?" I had it set to no offers, and I'm like, "Sure, I'll go ahead and do that." And I dropped the price down to $35, and within minutes she had already completed the purchase and was ready to get it. So I thought that was really cool. She, like I said, was really, really nice, and this is actually, I've had this forever. So $35 on that, that's a really good profit. I think we made about $33 on it. So that's a good profit for no cost. And then the second item we've had for quite a while on Facebook. It's just a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus sparkly, glittery, clear phone case with the protective glass in it. Brand new in the package. Like I said, not a huge cost or value. It was a $13 sale, but they paid exactly what I was asking, and so that's probably, I only paid a quarter for that. So the cost for those is super minimal. I have a drawer full of phone cases that I bought at Daily Deals for a quarter a piece, and I've sold, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them now for between $10 and $13, like this one. So they paid full asking price, and I probably made $11.50 on it. So not a bad profit. And that's the only 2 sales we've had on Facebook. And then we have our Macari sales, which the first one is something that we just listed yesterday, that I found in the garage also, that I could not find any others online like it. But it is a Meriwether Lewis & Clark Expedition pin, and I think I talked about this one. I don't remember, in my video about stuff that I found in my tote in my garage. I don't even know where this came from, to tell you the truth, but it's still on the paper that a ripped piece of paper that it came on. And I mean, it is in excellent, super good condition, but I couldn't find anything. Google Lens, nothing like this pen anywhere online. So I listed this for $30. I thought it was rather high for that. And somebody made an offer this morning, or during the night last night, something like that, for $24. So I went ahead and took it. $6 off of something that I didn't really know the value of in the first place is pretty good. And then one of our DVDs that I bought, I think I got this for $1 at the thrift store. It's Veep, the complete 5th season DVD set, in very good condition. It's just a 2-disc set. And that sold, we had it originally for $11. I took an offer of $9 for it. Not bad for $1. Like I said, they're not high dollar items, but they work. And then something else that we had it listed only for a couple of hours, I believe. But the going price was between $10 and $12 for this item. So it is a year 2000 Zippo lighter, just plain chrome colored, nothing special. Somebody made an offer for $8 for it, and I went ahead and took it. Even though it had just barely been listed, it went very quickly. And again, that was something that I had from when I used to be a smoker, and I no longer need it. It's been sitting in the garage forever, because I actually haven't smoked cigarettes for, gosh, going on 8 years now. So that's a really cool thing. And so $8, probably about a $7 profit, because I've had it forever. And then that's it for our Macari sales. We just had those 3 on Macari. And then now we have our eBay sales, which the first thing that sold overnight last night was this Stitch sweatshirt. I don't know. This is a Disney branded size medium, kids size medium, I think. And that sold for $14, which was our full asking price. They didn't try to haggle or anything. They just bought it overnight last night, which works for me. And then we've had these for a little while, but we sold these kids Mickey Mouse Disney shoes that I got at the thrift store for, I think, $3. But after averaging everything out for that day, I think it was like $2.50 or something like that for the cost of goods. But they also light up and both still work, which is super cool. And these also sold overnight, full asking price of $20 for those. So that also will be a pretty good profit, probably about $15 profit for those after fees and everything. And all of these items, obviously, as I always say, are including shipping. And then we've got this, the item that was sent back to me, which is a printer. This is an HP Envy 5014. The only thing I have done is tested it for power. Ink is just way too expensive for me to buy a bunch of ink for all the printers that I have and test them out. Ink is super expensive. So if I find it, then I would buy it, at a yard sale or thrift store or something like that where it's really, really cheap. But other than that, I bought all these printers off of auction for about anywhere between $1 and $5 a piece. This one sold, original price was $37, but this buyer had a coupon that I'm running on eBay, so they got it for $33.30. So even with that, I believe this one specifically, I only paid $2 for it. And so we probably made a $30 profit on this printer. We didn't lose anything from the last one. The buyer paid for the return shipping, all of that. So we broke even on the last time we sold it. And I had to get a bunch of power cords, but I had quite a few of them. So those didn't really cost anything either. And so, like I said, that one is probably about a $30 profit all around. And again, it's sold as an as-is printer because I don't know that it will actually print. And then the last thing is the first time I bought a whole bunch of these for super cheap. They were like $2 a piece at the time at the thrift store, which was not bad. And this is the first time I've sold one. Oh, this is a Robert Talbot Patrick James silk tie. It's in super good condition, but this is a silk tie. It does have a little bit of a crease here where it's been tied. We showed that in the pictures, but in overall really good condition, and not my cup of tea for color wise. But I really do like it. And that sold for $12, which was our full asking price for that. But so with that tie, that is actually the last sale that we had. So 9 sales over the last day and a half. Not bad at all. I'm definitely not going to complain. Let's see, that's $170 worth of sales before tax and fees, so probably about $145 to $150 in profit over the last day and a half or so. So again, I'm not going to complain about that, definitely not. So we actually need to get all this stuff packaged up and shipped off today, and I have a bunch of listings to do. So I've been trying actually to that's another tip actually, is try to basically set up listings or queue listings ahead of time so that you don't have as much work to do each day, is what I've actually been doing. So what me and the wife do is I create the listings, I go through and do most of this research. Sometimes she'll help me if it's a lot of clothes, which clothes tend to take a long time. If you're not selling the exact same items all the time, if you have a bunch of random items that you've never sold before, it takes time. So I do have some templates in my list perfectly for clothes and DVDs and TV shows and a bunch of different things, CDs, things like that, tapes actually, and I use just a basic template, and then I change what I need to change, but it's got most of the information in there. So having a template is actually a really good idea. But what I do is we do the research, find something very similar if we can, and then I create the listing and list perfectly and have that all queued up. And I normally do, we're only listing 10 items a day right now. So what I'll do is, when she's actually taking the pictures and listing the 10 items for the day, I will actually be creating 10 listings for the following day, or for the next day. So that allows it to be ready for her in the next morning most of the time, unless I get lazy one day and then I don't do it, and then I do 20 in one day and she only lists 10 of those, which is what we're doing today, because yesterday I didn't feel like creating any listings. So she just listed what we already had queued up, and so today I've got to do the 20, and so that's actually a really good way, though, if you keep an extra 10 listings or 15, however many you do each day, ready for you for the next day. It's actually tends to be a little less work, and you get into a rhythm where you're doing it pretty quickly. I can do 20 listings in probably about an hour and a half, even with all the research. The DVDs and things like that where you can scan a barcode are a lot easier. You can find listings, watch them on eBay, and then you can use most of those titles for the ones that you watch in your listing. So it does help to sell similar, basically, but we create all of our listings in List Perfectly and then cross post them to all of our platforms. So it's much easier to create them, I believe, in the List Perfectly app and then cross list to everything at once. So, like I said, just a few helpful tips at the beginning and the end of this video, and what sold. And so that's pretty much it. We really appreciate you watching the channel, and hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Smitty out.